Oh my God. Oh my God.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Hector and Keller Show. My name is Hector, and sitting to my screen right, but across the county of Los Angeles, is the arc to my Russian, Mr. Keller Knobloch. Say hi, Keller.
Hi.
Is the
The
Europe
arc.
is the European to my no. Is the director / narrator to my European, Mr. Keller Knobloch.
French guy?
Yeah, I'll be the French guy on this one.
Okay.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That movie sent me into a pretty good nap. So,
Same here, brother.
yeah.
Same here, dude. Let's just
Yeah.
get this out of the way. I did not enjoy that film, and we're gonna talk about it. And I
Whoa.
feel bad.
At the gang.
Remember when I was
Gate,
like,
swinging.
remember when I was like, I'll definitely like this other Russian movie more than this Russian movie about a father and sons.
I like the other one better.
Me too. Me too.
I was surprised.
Me too. Me too.
I was like, this would be fun to look at least, right? It's just Russian people so much. And
so
it's like,
much
let's change our hair.
Oh my God. So
we'll have this French guy be a creep and just be like, how do I know Russian?
So to fill people in, to bring them up to speed, let's jump into this. Let's talk about this freaking movie. I think we have to do I don't know. Why don't you do French? Why don't you do a French accent? Why don't we have a nice French guest come on, Keller, and read the description here from this magazine? You got the magazine in front of you?
Yeah. What's this guy's name?
This is Pierre Montclair. This is our special guest, Pierre Montclair.
His parents are cheeky.
Could be French Canadian. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet.
I wish I knew how to say 358 in French so badly right now.
Well, whenever Pierre is ready, Pierre can take it away because I want to get into talking about this film. Pierre, are you there? Are you on the line? Are you ready to go, sir?
Oui.
Pierre, whenever you're set, take it away, my friend.
358. A Russian arc. 2002. Take another sip.
I just love how much stank Pierre put on arc. It's like 6 syllables with Pierre.
Arc. Director Alexander Sokolov.
Mm-hmm.
The film that famously involved one single shot floating through the halls of the Hermitage in St. Petersburg during 19th century Russia. An unnamed French diplomat guides us through this warped world, meeting various historical figures. It's a virtuoso piece of directing, but can't quite escape the nagging sensation of stunt over content.
Wow.
Au revoir.
Bye, Pierre. Thank you, Pierre. So, Keller, now that you're back, I fully agree with this summary, and yet I'm still offended that the British people who put this together wrote this critique of the Russian movie. I'm almost like, you don't talk about my sister.
Your sister Russia?
My sister Russia. But even though I agree with it, I'm like, it says it's a great piece of directing.
I'm fine with what it said.
But I just feel, again,
I agree.
I agree too, but I'm just defensive of like any British film criticism criticizing any other part of the world criticism.
True.
That's all. Because I'm just like,
the Brits should be allowed to anymore. You're not allowed to say shit about anybody else.
Pretty much. They should. I feel like
they should. Privileges.
They should have been a little more diplomatic with this one and been like, if you haven't seen it, it's considered. They didn't even have to take a stance. They could have said it's considered one of the greatest Russian films ever made. It's this, it's that.
I don't even know if that's true though.
I don't know if it's true, but according to Wikipedia,
I like The Return more.
Yeah, I did too. But anyway,
it felt like
bro.
like a like you walk into one of those dark rooms at a museum and something's playing, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna watch a minute of this.
And you check in with somebody, how long's the runtime? And then somebody says, oh, it's about an hour 40, and you go, oh,
Oh
I'm
shit!
done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Feature
gotta
film
leave.
length. Wow.
But if the runtime was like 20 minutes, you might go, I'll stay. I'll watch the whole thing. If it's 20, if it's like 11 minutes and it just loops, it's like, ooh,
I can't imagine staying in any dark room in a museum that long.
it depends on what museum, it depends on what,
Very rarely.
you
Like
know.
we went to the Museum of the Moving Image and they were playing like
Yeah.
Jim Henson shorts, and I was like, I could
Yeah.
stay in here a while.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, man. If they went to like the Museum of Italian Food, you'd be like, I'll check out this footage for a second. And they were just
Yeah, it's just
looping Stanley Tucci searching for Italy. I'd be like, I'll hang in here for a
I'm just
few
watching
eps.
Discovery Channel in here
Yeah.
or CNN, but it's on the Discovery app. I'm sorry.
um yeah, this movie, you texted it to me moments after I said it to my girlfriend. I was like,
Out loud.
this feels like a museum tour video, like a film
Yeah.
commissioned to like show the museum rooms in an interesting way
But
with
you can be cheeky.
some kind of narrative. But like, I was like, this is just going to museum. And then you texted me like, this feels like a VR museum tour.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about the one, or let's talk about the one shot. Was it impressive?
It's a huh?
Was it
Sure.
impressive to you?
It is a huge feat.
Sure.
100%. Good job, everybody involved. Well, almost everybody involved. When
Yeah.
they're walking down those stairs, I can't tell you how many people did not. They weren't going to restart, obviously, but so many people were looking right into camera.
Dude, that bugged the shit out of me. That was
The way that woman turns around is like, oh.
yeah. That was
It's like,
so
well, this is the fucking end of the movie.
yeah.
We're not going to start the fuck over.
That was so distracting to me. And I read on the Wikipedia summary that like this was their fourth attempt. They had tried it three other times, and they all shot it in one day. And at the fourth attempt, they were running out of daylight, but they were able to get it in. And the first attempt, I think they messed up 5 minutes in and had to sort of reset. And the entire like the whole thing is supposed to be impressive because it even says like on the DVD cover or on some poster or something where it says like, or I think if you go to Letterboxd, it might even say like 10,000 extras, or no, 2,000 extras, you know, all one continuous shot, centuries of Russian history, you know, all packed into this one movie. And for me, the logistics of hiring all the extras, which by the way, all their costumes were great.
Yeah.
Well done. Kudos on all those costumes. Sure.
They probably just pulled them out of the closets of that museum.
At the museum, right, exactly. But all of the extras, knowing their various, like there were like dance numbers that were incredibly boring because it was just like
It wasn't good.
It was just ballroom,
not
like,
even good dancing.
You know,
and also impressive. Sure, I get what's impressive about it.
Sure,
100%. The orchestra scene, it's like.
But here's the thing.
So many people.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing they said. 2,000 extras, 4 separate orchestras.
Yeah.
You know, centuries of Russian history and one single shot. That's kind of like the tagline for the movie. And then I read that they still did. Here's the other thing that was distracting on top of people looking at the damn camera at the end of the film directly into it. The other thing that's kind of a cop-out is that in the story, sometimes the camera is a character that is interacting with people, sometimes not. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes he's a ghost that is sort of like not there, but other times
the very end, like he's a ghost.
And
what if you died?
Yeah.
And you just like you're just with this French dude in a museum.
And you lived, and that was your whole rest of your existence is reliving all of Russian history in other rooms of a museum.
I hope I don't get a history lesson when I die.
What I'm saying sounds more interesting than what the movie was.
Okay.
Because when you told me that, you're like, Hector, what if you died and you were stuck in a museum of, you know, American history or something that like some boring thing that you would have to like go walk in and out of and experience rooms of, be able to meet significant figures in American history. I'm like, well, that could be incredible.
I
depending
wish I
on
was Forrest Gump. Right.
yeah, Forrest Gump for all eternity, and in one
Yeah,
room
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like Martin Luther King Jr., and in the other room is like George Washington, and in the other, like yeah, that
And
sounds
then just a
cooler.
bunch of museum people.
Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, right. Years beyond my life ends,
Yeah, yeah,
and there
yeah.
are people in a museum in the modern world, and they're looking at art. That sounds more interesting than what this movie, the final product, was. The other thing
Everything
that
we're
that
saying.
yes, the other thing that bothered me, like I
We're
said, the
describing the movie, and it's
yeah,
like it's more interesting than the actual movie is.
yeah, exactly. People staring at the camera at the end. Secondly, the thing that bothered me is that all of the audio was done in post. It's
Oh yeah.
all
Well,
ADR'd.
I get why,
Yeah,
100%,
yeah, but
but
then
it's
I'm like, well, then it's not that impressive that you did a oneer. I'm sorry, because then I'm going, did you even re-record the orchestras themselves? Well, then I'm like, then they didn't need to be perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, then you could have just kind of
I
fudged a
was
lot of
trying
that.
to look and see if they were all actually playing or like
Yeah, I don't know.
other
They
than
also,
the dialogue, then the sound design's pretty good.
I guess, but I would need to know more. There, look, there's a
I need to know more
documentary.
what it sounds like walking around a museum at night and stuff.
I guess it was okay, and I shouldn't be complaining because I don't even speak Russian. I'm like Justin
I can't
Hammer.
imagine.
I don't speak Russian, but
That's a great Sammy
it was
Rocks.
thank you. It was still bothering me that these actors, that it wasn't matching their lip movement. And I'm
Yeah.
going, if you're doing it in post, the least you could do is try to match it up a little bit more. Like you're doing it in post. I don't, and yeah, the sound design may have been good, but I don't know what
Or
was
at least just
designed.
mic up the one guy, the French dude.
That's what I'm saying.
At
That's what I'm
least him,
saying.
because
That's
that
what I'm saying.
the whole time, because it is all in Russian. There's so much crosstalk that I'm like, who the fuck is talking? I can't even match lips right now.
There's a documentary about the making of this film.
Oh,
And
what is it? A guy just following behind that guy?
yeah. Maybe like a guy. Yeah, exactly. Like, look at him doing this, and this is all one shot documentary. But I'm sure that it's very impressive if I were to watch that and then see what it took to plan everything out. Look, I
They had to
was
close down that museum for a
yeah,
while.
at least for a day,
Hmm.
at least. But I was blown away by like the oneer that happened in A Haunting of Hill House in that one episode where they kind of did like two or
Yeah, and
three.
they're like, and the same actor is showing up around the set.
Yes,
That's
yes,
incredibly
and it was
impressive.
only for 12 minutes, for like a 12-minute continuous shot versus like the and
Here's
then
the
they
thing.
strung them together.
It might just be like a lack of film literacy on my part, but pretty much every single like first time through something, I
Yeah,
never noticed that it's a oneer because I'm
right,
so just like focused on what the characters are doing. And
right,
I feel
right,
like a
right.
dummy sometimes when people are like the oneer, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
was paying attention to what the actors were saying and feeling. Uh,
I get it, and then it's not really something that
and then I'm
because
impressed when I go back, but like,
because at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, shooting this movie in one shot doesn't matter if the movie and the subject matter and the story doesn't grab you the first time you're watching it. Do you know what I mean? And I
yeah,
feel
I
like
think it was like if you are learning about Russian history, like if
maybe,
they threw this on in a Russian history class at the very end after you just learned all this shit
sure, it might
about
be
this
dope.
museum,
Yeah,
maybe.
I
But
was,
like
yeah,
I
that's why I was
like I don't
trying
even want
to.
to go on a tour at an art museum. I don't even want to listen to that person.
That's why
I
I
don't
was
even
trying.
if I'm there. Like
Right.
we're gonna zoom in on these paintings. And it's like
Yeah. Don't
now
let me
they're
just
explaining paintings to me.
let me just walk through it myself. That's why I was trying to
The
relate to
chicken
this.
is greed.
Yeah. Oh, that great. That's why I was trying to relate to this by creating a sort of American version in my head. Because I'm like, if this movie had an American version, first of all, well, I'm gonna get back
It's
to
the
this point.
American mall with the French horn playing over
Yeah,
the whole thing.
I'm gonna get to this point in a second, but that's where I was like figures of American history, and yeah,
Like,
I
what
guess
if
if I was
National
in,
Treasure was one shot?
yeah, it's like that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence in one shot in about 40 minutes. Well, cool. From now, oh,
Yeah.
dope.
Uh
I'm
huh.
in
Uh
it.
huh.
Um, So
And he says
I
it from Antarctica, so we have to get all the way back.
yeah, maybe you were right though, Keller. Is if you're sitting in a history class, whether you're learning about Russian history or if you were learning about something else, and then there was a movie that was basically
Because
the
that's what it
version of
felt like.
that.
It didn't feel
Yeah,
like a movie to me.
exactly. It didn't feel
It
like a real
felt like
story.
a
Let me
museum paid for this.
let me throw something else
Which,
your way.
hey, what ended up happening? A museum paid for this.
Yeah, let me throw something else your way.
Oh
Is this
shit.
is this Russian propaganda? Yes or no? I can't
Uh,
tell. I can't tell because
I
I
don't
don't
know
have
enough about
enough.
Russian history to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
because sure, there are great people from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think Catherine
Absolutely.
the Great was supposed to be okay, and
Uh-huh.
she's the one who built the museum and stuff.
And Mikhail Gorbachev just died, and he was
Yeah,
in the movie. Somebody was playing him as a portion of that part of Russian history. I just I was kind of squinting my eyes the whole time, where I'm like, is this
the
like
fact
let
that
me
it's paid for by the state, right?
yeah. Then
It's
that
a
makes
national museum.
I don't know what the point of view of this film is, other than Russian artistry and history is great, and if you disagree, you're an idiot. Which I'm like, yeah, I
And
guess I
also,
agree with that, but
it's a French guy walking through the whole thing,
mhm,
which I'm like, he's speaking fluent Russian, so I'm like, I don't get the Frenchness of this guy.
correct.
I'm not
I
gathering that. Uh,
culturally, yeah,
the
we
fact
lost
that the
that.
whole time they're like, all this stuff is too European,
Yeah.
and it's like, so the difference is just making Saint Peter and John look like Russian dudes.
And it was with the European guy walking around. First of all, he I feel like he was made to look like death. Like he was like
He
obviously
definitely looked,
the
yeah,
villain,
like
the way he carried himself and his hair and everything. Like he was like
the Haunted
he he
Mansion.
he was just like a dumb asshole in this movie, basically, because he would walk into a room and he would say something ignorant like Russian music makes my ears bleed or I hate it. And it would feel so over the top that I'd be like, okay. But again, reading the Wikipedia, I know that that was based on a real guy, a real, I think, French guy who went to Europe, visited St. Petersburg, and then wrote about Russia in a not flattering way. So this is this filmmaker kind of clapping back at that, but I'm like, who gives a shit? That
I
guy's
don't
so
know, and yeah, so old.
I'm like, he's so long dead. I wanted something a little more vital, a little more like, why don't you clap back at Russian critics today? Why don't you clap back at Russian, whatever today? But it felt like the only point of view was like, hey, Russians are amazing artists and musicians. I'm like, yeah, no shit. I'm not gonna argue with you there.
Yeah,
I'm not an idiot racist or nationalist or some moron that's like, no,
we
the
can
best.
recognize that smart people come from all over the world.
Yeah, I'm not watching this
Uh,
movie trying to I'm supposed to be convinced because I'm the idiot going, the only good composers are German. I don't give a shit. I don't have that stupid opinion. So the whole the whole point of view of the movie I felt like was,
your favorite composer
I
is
don't know.
Michael Giacchino. So.
Exactly. Who I think is, I don't know, Jewish? I don't know. What's Giacchino? Maybe I need to
Sounds
make
Pinocchio-y.
Polish. Yeah.
Uh,
So I think he's a wooden boy.
that
I think
sounds Italian.
you're right. His family comes from Monstro. You're right. The
Yeah,
belly of
yeah,
a
yeah,
whale.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess
Directed
Italian.
by
Yeah.
Bobby Zemeckis.
Giacchino. Yeah. I don't know that whole, because it's like, how do you, Keller, feel about people that would like criticize like centuries old art? How, like, I don't know how I would respond to
Here's the
somebody
thing.
who
Like
even held that opinion. I'd be like,
I
who?
hated English class for this reason.
That's what I'm
When
talking
they're
about.
like, so tell me what this person meant. And it's like, well, we're 300 years removed.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
think either of us fully know what this person meant. And I think it's up to the reader. It's up for
It's
interpretation.
Yeah, it's just it felt like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that also that point of view or that opinion feels so safe that
But
I'm
if you're
like,
like saying how you feel about something, sure. It's like some
I
stuff does need to be criticized if it's being held up as some amazing thing when
yeah,
actually,
I guess so.
yikes or
I
something.
I don't know enough about that French writer who talked shit about Russia. I don't know enough about the
He's my
world.
favorite writer of all time.
Yeah.
So I don't like that they showed him in such an
the,
unflattering light in this movie.
the Stephen King of his time, certainly. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he made
Um,
Russia sound really scary.
yeah, really scary. There's evil clowns. It's bad. It's real
It's
bad.
not good. It's like Maine.
Yeah, it's all like kind of foggy and
Russia's basically Maine, apparently.
yeah. But I'll give you this, Keller. To kind of relate it to, I keep bringing up that example of like, what would the American version of this be? First of all, it'd be propaganda. It would feel
Well,
weird making a film defending American artistry. I'd be like, I don't need to do this.
well,
It's
it exists a million times over.
yeah, exactly. It's most
Probably.
movies or whatever.
Yeah,
But what
American exceptionalism.
if there was a film like this about Mexican artists and Mexican
Well,
history?
now
I'd
I'm
be
trying to
very
think of
intrigued.
like
Yeah.
just Warner movies.
Right, 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 right,
Uh,
right, right. We saw God, that 3D one. Remind me the name of it. You remember the name better than I do. The one that had a 40-minute continuous
oh, but
3D
doesn't
shot.
even. Yeah.
What was it called? Like
Long Day's Journey into Night.
A Long Day's Journey into Night. Yes.
That's a
That's
confusing. It's a confusing title.
it is. And that has a oneer. What else has oneers? I
Like
don't know why I'm thinking of this.
1917.
Oh yeah. 1917
Birdman,
Birdman. First of all, let's talk about 1917 for a second. It
because it is
edited,
cut together, but
but
it's very well done.
it's supposed to be cut in a way that gives the impression it's all one continuous shot, which I'm fine with. Because even while watching Russian Ark, there'd be times where it gets so dark up against a wall or a
They
zoom
could
in,
have cut there. They could
and
have cut there.
I'd be like, is this a
And
cut?
also you can tell like moments where people are stalling for the camera to get into place.
Sure. And I'm not accusing them of cutting and trying to like lie. I'm just saying, why go through all the trouble of this oneer when you could have cut
Mhm.
here after 4 rooms and then focused on the net, Anyway, Tintin has a couple of oneers, even though it's all CG,
But
that
yeah,
are very cool. That are like
it is very
impressively
cool. And
cool.
like I'm trying to think of what else does.
Well, I just saw it in theaters. I don't know if it. I guess it counts, but there's a couple in Jaws that are not super long. Maybe they're like a few minutes, but
But
it's
like
when
going
like
through all the people, anything where it's
yes,
like you can tell the orchestration, like
yes. When
it
Brody
is.
when Sheriff Brody's going through the town and then gets on the little boat and then the mayor gets in behind him and then we kind of follow them on the boat for the whole time, like that kind of stuff.
And
It's
this does
awesome.
beat. Like I feel like this was before. Like now, I feel like the oneer's a gimmick at this point.
Sure, or at
Everybody's like,
least
"Oh, did you see the oneer? Oh, did you see the oneer?" And I love a oneer.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like,
Like it needs to be really good these days for it to matter is what you're saying. I
yeah.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It's like especially with the way that you can cleverly patch things
Because honestly,
together.
I prefer not to notice it.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
want it to be like
You know what's another great one? I only remember this because of the behind the scenes video of it. I haven't even seen the show, but that Jim Carrey show where he's a TV
kidding.
yes, where he's a kids TV show host and there is I'm blanking on her name, the woman from Garfunkel and Oates. Uh
Which one?
Lynn
Tall or short?
Lindholm. Lindholm.
Ricky Lindholm.
Ricky Lindholm. Yeah, it's not Kate McCucci. I don't think she's in the show, but it's Ricky Lindholm, blonde actor, super funny, super great. She does a oneer in an apartment room that's supposed to show the passage of time. And all it is when the camera moves to like a corner of the room, the crew comes in and it's like a NASCAR pit crew, like they're changing out the details. And then she comes in and puts like a flower down, and then the camera keeps panning, and then like something's different on the TV, and then people, and that stuff is awesome. But it's like you said, it shouldn't
be distracting.
it shouldn't be distracting. You shouldn't notice it. These are the kinds of things and techniques and filmmaking techniques that I think are only great if you already love the thing and then you watch it for a second time and you go, watch this oneer in Jaws. Watch this. This
Or
has all been
Children
one
of
shot.
Men. That
Oh,
one.
Children of Men had some great ones in 2006. That shit was dope. Really good example. That one made a splash too. I remember people were like freaking out about the oneer and the
Yeah.
oneers in Children of Men, whatever it was. Exactly.
But
That should come secondary to the story. Man, this movie was boring. I was bored, Keller. It's the most
I
boring,
don't know if
interesting
it's
movie I've ever seen.
because. Well, yeah, we'd had. I don't know because if it's a full movie as a oneer, I don't know how many times that's been done beforehand, but we've watched better movies
And
otherwise. I can't
and
imagine. I can't believe this many people wrote this down.
me too. And I think you might be right. I think it might be because of the I posted about this yesterday when because we're a day late recording this. Yesterday, I was like, hey, Keller and I are going to be off tonight. We're going to do it tomorrow night. So tune in for this live show. And I can't remember who, but a couple people responded with like, oh, this is a very like, I'm a film nerd movie. And this is like,
Yeah,
you're dipping into like the obscure, like if you know this, you're a true film
and it's like,
fan.
hey, we're not doing this on purpose. Thanks for giving
Yeah,
us the credit, but
it's this film was one of the most, if not the most boring,
it felt like it's from a
interesting
museum.
movies. Exactly. And
Like,
I
I
wanna
told Chelsea about it. She's like, "That sounds interesting," and I was like, "Man,
exactly.
I'm falling a fucking asleep, dude."
It sounds interesting. It sounds interesting. And then the one part where
What
like
if Night at the Museum was a winner?
that would be people would not have stopped talking about that movie to this day. To this day. That would be the
Like,
most
that's what everybody said
incredible.
about Birdman. It's like, it's a gimmick. It shouldn't have won
Mhm.
Best Picture. It's all
I
bullshit.
I think I know why Birdman won Best Picture, and I don't think it was because of the gimmick of the
I
Warner.
think
I
it's
feel like
good.
I do
I think
think
it's
it's
because it's
good.
actors, and that's gonna win every time,
Thank you.
baby.
Thank you.
That's
And
why the
so,
artist won.
yep,
That's why.
Argo,
Yeah.
right? Argo won Best Picture because
Yeah,
it was
Argo,
about
fuck yourself. How about
yeah,
that?
because it was about you know,
Hollywood scripts. Hey, they said the word
sa-
scripts in this movie.
saving real life people through the guise of
Through the film industry.
through the film industry. The one
Hmm.
time the film industry
We do more than
bullshit. We do more
yeah.
than some bullshit.
Yeah, we save the
Um,
world.
yeah, sometimes we have 12-minute standing
The
O's, but
film has the power to save the world, Hector.
Keller, I want to see more Russian movies.
Me too.
I
And I
I
feel like this
yeah.
podcast has helped, but I
Yeah.
feel like every time it feels like it's this
S-
kind of art
I
film.
know that there are Russian films and filmmakers that would make stuff that would speak to me more.
Yeah.
That I know that if I just saw a couple more Russian movies, I could be like, this is my favorite film from Russia. And but these two
I
last
can't right
examples,
now. The Return is my favorite film from
I
Russia
guess so. I guess so. I don't know.
because I
I don't know
can't
what
think
else.
of any others right now.
I don't know what else I can. Yeah, I don't know. I need to watch some more, but um, there you have it, folks. I don't know
I would
what
love to know
Keller. Is
as
there
many.
anything?
I'd love to know some good Russian films.
Yeah.
I saw Arma 1917 said he could recommend so many. I'd love to know them.
Oh, that'd
And
be
if they
great.
end up being bad, I'm coming for you. Just know it.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick little gander at the comments
Just kidding. I won't come at anybody.
while we let's see here. David Taylor said definitely a phone looker / look up while you can movie.
But
I
here's the
mean,
thing.
it's
It's
all in
hard
Russian.
because it's all in Russian.
Yes. Yeah.
And Canopy's app is terrible.
Yeah.
Because I started the movie and then you started it on my Canopy account. So
I
then
did.
you've watched it fully, and then I had to come back to it, and it made me
Oh.
restart the movie, and I
I'm
couldn't
sorry.
fast forward, so I had to watch 15 minutes
Sorry.
over again.
I'm so sorry. I thought when I started it, it was about 20 minutes in, and I was like, Keller must be watching it right now.
I was.
Did you watch 20
And
and
then
then dip out?
I went and did some dishes.
Oh, mistake. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, mistake on my part.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck you, dude. Get a library card, you son of a bitch.
I'm pretty sure I have one, but
It's fucking
I should
free.
get one. I should. I'm pretty sure I got one because I remember I rented a VHS for us for this podcast years ago. I can't remember the VHS. It may have been Zelig, the Woody Allen film
Boo.
that I was like, it's not available anywhere except
See,
for VHS.
I don't know if I'm supposed to boo anybody in this movie. Gorbachev? Boo.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, am I? Wikipedia told me that there was one mention of this country under the reign of Stalin, but I'm like, I don't even remember that in the film. I don't know if
Just
anybody
gotta
even
watch the
said.
death of Stalin.
I guess
That
making it
doesn't count as a
historical.
Russian movie either.
Here's a great comment from Armut. Making it historical avoids some possible modern political issues. I picked. That's what I picked up on, and that's what was frustrating about it for me. Frankly, is that it did feel like
Because
is
let's
this
just say in Russia
right?
there are some modern political issues.
I'm like, is this the only thing they could make and get away with? And that something like the president of Russia was it Putin back then also 20 years ago? How long has
I don't
this
know, man.
guy
I
been in
should
power?
know more. I
I
was
should.
11 when this came
I
out.
should. I
I
should.
should
I
have had
should. I should.
my finger on the pulse
I should too.
of
I should have too.
Russian art cinema.
I was
Russian
2002.
state-sponsored art cinema.
Mm-hmm. 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 Ooh.
I'd like to know is there a big
Apparently,
readership in Russia of Empire
yeah.
magazine?
Yeah, curious. Oh, curious. That and maybe that's why 10,000 of those readers, maybe like,
Hmm.
1,000 of them were in Russia, or enough of them to be, to everybody just like checked in with each other, like we're all going to write Russian arc and the return. Good. Yes. Okay. Good. Da, it's
What's
in.
the American arc? What's the
What
best?
is the
I guess the
American arc?
Met. The Met.
Oh, I thought you were asking film, and you already called it. It's Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump
Oh
is the
yeah,
perfect
obviously. Yeah.
distillation
Uh-huh.
of the American of
Of
American
American
history,
history
because
and the fact that it's all bullshit.
yes, and
It's
the
the
fact that
glossed up version.
we think we're innocent. We think we're so innocent, in fact, that we have less intelligence, I guess, than a normal adult male, but we have so much heart, it makes up for that. That is
Mhm.
the perfect description of how America sees itself. If you are just good and you have a good heart and you're sweet, you
Forrest Gump is propaganda. Robert
yeah, it is.
Zemeckis.
It is,
That's
but
why I'm
like
not watching Pinocchio. I
I
know it's going to
think
be more propaganda. That's
I
why I
think
avoided Beowulf
yeah, and Castaway, that's
and
FedEx
Castaway.
propaganda.
Exactly. UPS,
I'm about UPS and USPS. Thank you very much.
DHL.
Um, that's so funny. Apparently, David Taylor's letting us know that the new Idris Elba movie Beast has a handful of long takes, which
I
I'm
want to
like,
see that movie.
that's
That
cool.
looks so fun.
I do too. I do too. I do too. And he also says, at least Russian arc wasn't offensive. I'll take interesting over offensive. I think at least that's what David Taylor was
I bet it
referencing.
was offensive to French people.
Yeah, yeah, it depends. It depends on what it was, but it's
Uh,
yeah, I guess I agree with that as well, because I was trying to slot in, like I put this movie Russian Ark over In the Company of Men. Do you know what I mean? Like
sure.
yeah, at that yes,
Okay.
in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But this movie still bored the bejesus out of me.
Uh huh.
Oh, we just have to check Armut's letterbox. That's all we got to do.
Oh,
That's all we got
solved
to
it.
do. And they said just wait until you see some USSR movies when the Iron Curtain was still up. Interesting. I'm very
Yeah, I want to see
interested in
some
that.
movies with code.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very
Not like
very
actual
interested in
code, but like
that. Yeah.
coded
Yeah.
protest movies or something.
Yep. Yep. Um, Yup. Keller, what else can we talk about in the world of movies?
You seen anything lately? I have not seen Jaws in 3D, like a piece of shit.
Oh
But it's still in
no.
theaters. It's
Is
still in
it?
theaters. Yeah.
Dude, go.
Come over. Let's go see it.
Go. Well, you are all ready to go, but you're leaving soon, which
Yeah,
is why we're
you got a
taking
while.
a bit of a break. I
A
do,
bit of a break.
but Abby and I are already getting ready for our leg of the
Good.
trip, and we did some errands today. We're gonna do some tomorrow. So I want to try to get away. She's already seen it. I'm so down to see it again. Love to see it with you and Chelsea. I just want to see it again. And Keller. I'm
Jaws is good.
I'm gonna try to make it my mission, because the word on the street is this is what Adam heard.
It's not coming out
told
on
you.
Blu-ray.
But bro, I'll say this right now live on the internet. Maybe somebody will clip it and get me in a lot of trouble. I know people who worked on the 3D conversion. I'm gonna do everything in my power to see if any of them
Can
snuck
give you that shit.
snuck that sucker off a server and just like, hey man.
Please. I'm about to break into a movie theater right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Steal it off a hard drive, because that's
I'm
all it
saying.
is. It's
Yeah.
just like classic
file.
Mission
File.
Impossible. Put in a flash drive.
Yeah. Get a movie.
Distract him. Hold him off.
Yeah.
And then I get out through a vent.
I'll figure something out. I mean, there's got to be there's just
I'll film it on my phone.
yeah, I think that's all I need, so that it's just Jaws but really blurry.
You just got to put on your glasses on the TV.
No.
Right? That's how it works.
Oh, that's adorable. I saw Analyze That.
You've watched the second one? Better? Worse?
Worse, not as good.
Funny?
Some moments were pretty funny. Even my mom and sister were over, and they were just kind of
Secondhand watching it.
yeah, passively watching it, and so was Abby. And there was a couple moments that were funny because Robert De Niro is funny, Billy Crystal's funny,
Yeah,
but Lisa Kudrow had some great lines, but not as good as the first one.
it's hard.
Um, I'm gonna try to eventually do all of the Harold Ramis movies
Okay,
because
you got to watch year one. You're looking
I
forward to
know
it.
I'll rewatch it.
It's
I didn't
bad.
like it. It is bad, but we love Groundhog Day.
We love it.
We love it.
Official stance of the podcast.
And I remember really liking the movie Multiplicity. I have no idea if it holds up.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does. I remember really liking Bedazzled. I don't
I've never
know
seen that one.
how well it holds up. Totally worth watching. Totally
Okay.
worth. Very funny.
Okay.
Really great.
This is before that meant putting stickers on your stuff.
What do you mean?
Bedazzling, putting sparkly stickers
Yes,
on everything.
yes. No, I think it meant that then. I think.
Oh, really?
And I think Bedazzled was even a remake
company?
of. Yeah, no, I think it was a remake of another older movie that's the same premise, like
What?
the devil gives a. But I think Elizabeth
I
Hurley.
didn't even know that's what it was about. The devil's in
Oh
this?
my god, dude, it's so good.
I can't watch that.
You have to, otherwise you'll go to hell.
That's
You have-
it tells you how to not go to hell.
Tells you how to
Okay,
fight the
good.
devil. Tells you how
Thank
to fight
God.
the devil. Tells you how to
Finally.
fight the devil. Yep.
Something
yep.
concrete that'll help me.
And then I've just been trying to catch up on some TVs because there's lots of TV shows happening right now.
And you have to watch them all.
I have to and want to.
Ring of Power. Let's hear it. What do you think?
I like it. I like it. What do you think?
I do too.
I like it. Okay.
Dwarves
It's
are
not
the
the-
best part.
Yes. It's not the best part, or it's not the best show I've ever seen.
No, it's not.
I would.
But I'm invested.
This is yes, and this is what I'm kind of safely. This is my little bunt take.
I started watching Two Towers and I was like, it's still, why doesn't it look like this?
Oh, you think Two Towers looks better?
All three of
Or-
those movies like look better.
Well, I'll
Not
give it.
necessarily effects wise,
Okay,
but then
okay.
even like watching just a Gollum scene, the
Mhm.
one where he's just going back and forth with himself.
It's pretty great. And the more impressive thing is that shit's from 2002. So
Exactly.
you know,
Like,
and
I
the
was very much paying attention and I was like, this is like the Warg battle is
Yeah.
crazy for 2002.
absolutely really solid.
Same year that Russian Art came out.
Yes, I was gonna say New Zealand's version of this movie would be so good. I would love it. It would be so entertaining.
A
and
oneer
fun.
just going around the entire
Yeah,
I don't know
directed
the-
by Peter Jackson. It'd be
Petey
great.
Jacks. Yep.
It'd be great. I think that the Lord of the Rings TV show, this is my safe bunt.
Ring of
Is
Power.
I think the Rings
What, are you
of
trying
Power.
to not be controversial?
No. I have some controversial takes. I'll give them to you, but
Ooh, I want to hear them.
I think Rings of Power is going to be better than the Hobbit movies, but not as good as the Lord of the Rings movies. And
I
for
think
me,
that's-
I'm like, right,
True.
that's true. And for me, I'm like, that's fine. I'm happy because I liked the Hobbit movies enough to like them.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I've seen
I'm-
them all more than once, and
set.
I would
I'm
say
set.
I'd probably regret some of those.
but
But
I would go so far. I would go so far as to say I'm going to try to get the extended editions of the 3D Hobbits.
I only want
only because
one
they're 3D.
3-hour version that
Yeah.
combines
I think
all of
it's.
them.
I think it's. Ooh, and I think Topher Grace edited that for you.
Thanks, Toph. I'm gonna start
He's-
calling
hey,
him Chris.
he's my
We're
Venom.
close enough. I call him Chris.
He's my Venom.
That's your Venom.
That's my Venom.
You like
Hashtag
it
that's
better
my Venom.
than Tom Hardy.
I like Topher Grace more than Tom Hardy. I do. I really do. I
Whoa.
think Spider-Man 3 is not as good of a movie as Venom, the first movie. Maybe. I don't know.
These
I
are
think
weird, controversial opinions.
Yeah. I think I
And-
enjoyed Venom more than Spider-Man 3 because Spider-Man 3 was a letdown. Like
Did
I
that
had
hurt you?
Yes,
when you
I was
were a child.
so invested when I was a child, 2 years graduating after high school. Yes, in 2000,
Yeah.
in 2007. Yeah. Whereas Venom, I'm like, this is going to be awful. And I went into it and I was like, it was bad, but I laughed and it's fun. I don't know. But Topher's my guy. What are your spicy hot takes in what are your incendiary hot takes for the Lord of the Rings of Power, or the whole thing?
I think when the lead actress who plays Galadriel does her Galadriel eyes, it's funny.
Okay, great. okay. I think here's a hot take I agree with that I saw. I think I saw somebody on Twitter kind of say this, where
Hmm.
they're like, yeah, there's like people of color in this show, but it still like feels uneven. It's not even. It's like the
It's
bare
so
minimum.
weird because
Yeah.
the way
Yes.
that these people of color are represented, it's like, well, all the people in power are still white people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And the show opens
you
with all the
have your only black
elves.
characters are some guard
Yep.
and uh
Yep.
mystical Harfoot guy.
Yep. 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 And then in the second episode, the dwarven prince's wife.
She's great.
She's great, but then and so I'm like, okay, I know that this show is still like diversely cast enough, but the way that, and this is true, the way that racists have reacted to the show kind of made me think, or makes you think, like, oh dang, they must have, like, damn, is Elrond black? Like, why are they so mad about shit?
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
it's you know the show opens with all the elves in their elf land to the east, or to the east, I guess, to
Because
the
they
no to the
didn't,
west,
yeah, it's like,
and they're all white, and I'm like, okay,
how do you
could have
feel
gone
about the
further.
fact that they completely just kept the style of PD
I think
Jacks?
I like it, and I think it was smart because I, I'm like, imagine if they had
That is Middle Earth.
not.
Don't recreate
Yeah.
it.
I read up on it. I have this magazine that does a little featurette on it, and one of the people behind the show basically said,
Did
even
Weta do
though
it?
they worked on it, yeah, they're one of the companies
Okay.
that worked on this show, are working on this show, and Peter Jackson has no direct involvement. But they said all of their design philosophy was basically like, don't clash with the movies, don't clash with
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit from Peter Jackson. And I think that's a safe, smart bet, because if they came out with a
Yeah, don't
real
redo it.
don't and it's a tricky thing because this is technically its own separate reality that is not officially a prequel to those movies, all because of rights
But it's
issues or
like,
whatever. Like, but I'm
sure.
like,
So
but it
it's
is
all
basically.
completely, yeah. It's all
Yep.
almost completely directly reference. It
Yep.
references what we know because of those movies. Sure,
Yep.
people know it because of the books, but they also aren't going that far outside,
Yeah.
other than like some characters.
Yeah. So I like
Uh,
it. I'm into it. I'm gonna watch all the
I'll
episodes.
watch all of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And I also like how they are at least, I think they said they have plans for 5, and they are at least greenlit for second season. So they're going into that,
Okay. How many
So I'm
episodes
like,
are in this first season?
oh God, I want to say 10, which isn't even
10.
that much.
Yeah, that's like
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
that's
Let me
not even as much
see.
as the extended editions.
Yeah.
Like
No, 10 hours.
how much did those
Uh,
cost?
I know. I know. Let me
Because this
find out.
doesn't
Oh,
this looks great. And this is definitely the best fantasy, maybe the best. Well, I think Game of Thrones looks better, like cinematography wise.
gotcha. But in terms
Uh,
of like special effects and CG effects and
yeah, but what
costuming
are you
and
gonna do? That's just dragons.
yeah, yep. Yeah, dude, this show
And
looks insane.
it looks great, but it
Yeah.
also doesn't look as good as the movies for how much it costs. Like I was
Mm.
expecting this to look cinematic, and it still feels like a TV show to me,
Mm-hmm.
even
Mm-hmm.
in just
Yeah.
the level of production.
Yep. Yep. Um, could be. I don't know if it's a spoiler, Keller. Who do you think the stranger is?
I think it's probably Gandalf because he is a fallen star. It
That's
says that
true.
in the fucking books.
But our chat room right
So
now is saying
it's
it's
a Tom
Tom and
Bombadil. I
Tom.
was like, well, he hasn't sung anything yet. So I think we can rule that out. If it was
um,
Tom Bombadil, as the meteor was going through the sky, you would have been hearing, like,
yeah.
he would have been singing about the
I
fucking stars or something.
I also think people are going like, it's not Gandalf because Gandalf didn't arrive until the third age and this is in the second age. I go, says who? I'm like, is that like, here's my take on that. And this is
Shut up.
my spicy take. It's not so much that I'm like frustrated that people are sticking to the lore or whatever, but I'm kind of going, okay, who was it that said that in the story? Right?
And also,
Which character said it? Was it the narrator that said it? How reliable is that?
They cut
Do you know
so
what I
much
mean?
shit for the movies. They changed some
For
shit for
sure,
the
for
movies.
sure. I'm fine with that.
Like,
But I'm just saying,
yeah,
if there's some source that says Gandalf first appeared in the Third Age, or that's when he
appeared
arrived
to
to Middle
who?
Earth,
Appeared to who?
that's what I'm
Appeared
saying.
to
First,
you.
first
That's the first time
arrived
fucking Bilbo saw this motherfucker. Maybe.
exactly. I'm fine with retcons. I read
Because you
comic
know
books,
they're gonna.
you
You
know,
know they're gonna.
as long as I mean, in many ways, they kind of have to, just because it's Gandalf. He is the
It hasn't
second,
felt as fan servicey as I thought it was
yeah,
gonna be.
and I don't think it ultimately will be, but I just think this is too tempting not to. If that is Gandalf, it's too,
I
or
thought
if
this was
it's
gonna be like about baby
Saruman,
Sauron.
hmm
I thought it's gonna be
him,
about baby Sauron, but Sauron's already like a bro
maybe it will
running
be.
around doing shit.
Maybe we'll get
We're
flashback
gonna
keys. I
flash
don't
back
know.
again,
I don't know, man.
and everything's
Maybe.
gonna look weird, like in the flashback with Smeagol.
Yes. Here's been my favorite show of late, though. Stanley Tucci searching for Italy. I think that show
Duh, it's so
is.
good.
I'm just worried. I'm like they've done uh 6 in the first season, 4 in the second, so 10 total.
We're gonna
So
get 2 next season.
Tucci's halfway through because he says he's going to do all 20 of Italy's regions. So
Well,
he's
he
done
went to
10.
London, so who the fuck knows what's gonna
Yeah,
happen
I'm
now?
like, yeah. So really, he's only done 9. So I'm
Yeah.
like, is there an episode where he does 2 regions in one? I'm more
No, I bet he's
concerned.
just gonna keep going. Don't worry about the way that they're
Okay,
gonna lay out the seasons.
okay.
You'll get it probably.
I'm more invested in Tucci getting all of his Italy regions, despite this Warner Brothers Discovery merger, than I am with like, oh, is Lord of the Rings of Power,
That's
going to
for
get a
sure gonna
third
get.
season, fourth season?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Man,
I'm
man,
definitely more invested in that.
Keller,
We're gonna knock out a few regions.
hell yeah, Keller. Outside of Italy, if there was a Keller Knobloch searching for show, what region, country, nation,
Where would it be?
what
Well,
would you do?
here's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
he starts the thing. He's like, I'm Italian on both sides.
yeah,
I'm like, well, my mom's from Oklahoma.
do it.
I don't like Oklahoma. Let's do it.
You don't have to. You can lie in the beginning of yours and go, I'm Mexican on both sides. So I'm
I don't
here
think I can do
searching for Mexico. Keller
Searching for
Knobloch.
Mexico with Keller Knobloch.
What would you do?
I don't know
Man,
because
because I took Italy away from you. You just want to retrace. Yours would be
I'd
Keller
love to go
Knobloch.
anywhere. If I was like, I like to recreate diners, drive-ins, and dives shot for shot.
Keller Knobloch, searching for Stanley Tucci, searching for Italy. And it's just you
That's
retracing.
what I'm talking about.
That's, yeah,
Yes.
it's you just
Yes.
doing that. And you'll be like, I'm a fan of Stanley Tucci on both sides. So
Or
here
me
I
and
am
you
in
will
Italy.
recreate the trip
The trip. That would be great. That would be
to
great.
Italy.
Okay. The trip to Italy. Something to think about.
Where would you do?
I don't
Where are
I
you
don't
searching?
I don't know food enough or feel comfortable or feel expert enough in food. My show would have to be, I haven't seen it yet, but there's that new God, what's the guy's name? He was in, it's Adam Pally
Oh,
and
101 places to die, places to party before you die. I've
101
watched
places
it.
to, yeah.
It's not
How is
as
it?
good as I'd like it to be, just
Okay.
because it is like,
But what a
I feel
great
like the
premise.
editors were just like, this is a travel show, so we'll edit it like every other travel show.
Gotcha.
When those
So-
two are very funny, and
but
there are
it's-
very funny little bits.
So it's Pally and Gabrus, right?
Yep.
That's that kind of approach. I'm like, that's what I would do. A
Because
sort
they
of
do
like,
go and like, I think they even went to a comic book store, or they
For
went
sure.
to
but
a
despite
sneaker
that,
store.
yeah, despite that, even if you told me, Hector, you have to do it about food, I'd be like, well, let me do something where it shows
This is
how
Keller Knobloch's Searching for America.
I would want to do
Found it.
that's pretty good. Searching for America. That would be great. And then you
Right?
could go to
That's
you're
all
like,
you could do.
You're like, there are 50 states in the United States of America, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
go to
And I'm
each
gonna
one.
go to every single one.
Finding
Here we
that'd be
are
awesome.
in North Dakota. We're
That'd be
gonna eat
awesome.
reindeer. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Just
I would
kidding.
want
I
to.
bet reindeer's delicious.
Maybe
I'd eat it. I'd eat
makes
it.
me sad.
It makes me sad. They got to shoot him out of the sky. It's sad.
Yeah. And the jingle bells done.
as soon as
Silence.
as soon as those bells stop jingling,
Yeah,
that's how you know.
Meat's on, dinner's on. Reindeer's back on the menu, boys. uh,
They have not
yeah.
established their restaurants in
Oh,
Ring of Power.
Here's what my show would be. It would honestly be a show about. Well, actually, I would do two things.
Here they
Number
are.
one, number one.
We know movie travel
Here's
show. Go to
here's a pitch.
locations.
Oh God, yeah, that too. Okay, so there's three things. Number one, that one. Movie travel show where you go to movie locations, either real shooting locations or fictional within the movie or TV
Hmm.
show locations, right? I'm going to San Francisco for Star Trek Starfleet.
In
And
San
I'll,
Andreas.
and I'm going to San Andreas for the movie San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
Those are both covered in the same episode.
Good. And then you
Ah,
go
here
to
we go again. And I recreate video game moments from San Andreas. Number two, my pitch would be Hector goes to every comic book store
in the world.
in the country, in the state, in the world,
That's
whatever.
impossible.
I know, but that's what the show would be. Is I would go to different comic book stores and like do the show and scope it out and and talk about stuff and talk to the comic book store owner or whatever. Number three, let me give you this pitch, Keller. I want to see how you feel about it. Maybe I've already pitched this to you
Okay.
before. I just pitched this to my dad over the weekend, and he was like, I told him what it
Pay you
was.
$100,000.
He goes, "You might be onto something there." That's what my dad said.
That's how you know you got an idea.
So I was visiting him
And then
in
his
Mexico.
eyes turns to dollar signs.
Yeah,
You
We
might
went
be onto something there.
we went to Mexico. We were in TJ. We were in Tijuana, and he took me to the swap meet there. And we're going around, and with everybody's like little like individual cubbies or stalls or whatever at a swap
Mhm.
meet. And I told
Cubbies
him
is the term.
whatever it is, and I told him, hey, here's an idea for a TV show. It's kind of like Extreme Home Makeover. There's like a host or hosts and like a crew, and they go around to different thrift stores, secondhand stores, or even swap meets and pick a whole store or like a person's whole thing. And they go, hey, we're going to give ourselves 7 days. And within a week, we're going to help you sell every single thing in this store, whether it's online or sell it and find a home for every single little piece of crap and piece of garbage or little treasure that you have. And we're going to sell it all. And we're going to give you all the money. So you can
Your mom is the
effectively,
inspiration for this.
yeah. So you can effectively either retire or like you can just start rebuying a new inventory, but like we're going to clean slate you, and you can either choose to close down the store or you go, wow, now I have however
You
much
get all the
money,
money to do whatever. Yeah.
get all the money to do whatever you want. And it would be a combination of those different things, and it would like if it was a TV show like Extreme Home Makeover, people would know to go to the website because they're always selling stuff.
Be a fun
then-
garage sale.
Yeah, just
episode.
a massive, and it would be going to the owners of the inventory and being like, what's the lowest you can do on this? Can you give away this stuff? Can we get rid of this stuff? Can we, just like what's the absolute lowest? Because I was going around the swap meet and there were so many people that just had collections of like, DVDs, like the classic DVDs, Garden State, I saw 1,000 times, Click on these things where I'm just like, is
everything you had to own on DVD.
I'm like, like I think Memento, Donnie Darko, maybe I saw, but I'm like looking at this stuff, and I'm like, is there anybody left in the world who would look at this and go, "Oh, Garden State on DVD, I don't have it." I'm like, no. If they
Discovery's buying them all up, so no one can have them.
I'm like, if there's somebody out there who loves any of these movies, I don't know, but it's just that thing of like, I would be fascinated by trying to clear out an inventory of a store like that.
That'd be very interesting.
And most of it, because it'd be an hour-long show, right?
Is that
and
any part of Hoarders?
Yes.
Like, we're going to try and sell some of this shit.
Well, no, but I was saying that this show pitch is also kind of like a Hoarders, because you can kind of show
but it's a business, so it's,
that people hold on to, but then still be like, are you good with us chucking this? And the owner would be like, okay, sure. Because there's an element, you got to be a hoarder to run like a thrift shop or like
It'd be fun.
I think it would be super fun. And you could even show people, either people from across the internet, once they've bought the thing.
It's like a combo of Antiques Roadshow and all kinds of stuff.
Because then we show off,
and we think it's probably worth more than they think it is. We're going to get someone to come in and appraise it.
That's what I'm saying. You bring in some experts.
We're going to bring in. We found this old Russian painting. We should make sure it doesn't belong in a museum.
Exactly. That's the kind of. So my dad said
Russian
you may be onto something. Would you watch that show, Keller?
I probably wouldn't, but I know that we know people who would.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Okay.
say that that's necessarily my deal. Remember the show American Pickers?
Yeah.
Those people are insufferable. It
Yep.
depends on who's hosting it, probably.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
if we
Yep.
get Nicole Byer to host it, I'm watching it
Oh
100%.
yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
But
you just
also,
get
she'd be
Hallie
like,
and
"This is old."
Gabris. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Why do you still have this? Really, really funny. Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, if you get some really funny people to host it, I would watch the hell out of that. That'd be awesome. Oh man, it could be really fun.
We should do it.
Anyway, you know what we should
Let's
do,
make
Keller?
that happen. Let's call up HGTV. Is that who it would be? Or
I don't
Discovery?
know. I don't know.
Doug Discovery?
I
Hey,
don't know.
this is
DLC.
our chance. Now that HBO is dead, we'll come in with this
We'll do it.
pitch
That's it.
and sweep them.
What would you call it?
Uh, shit heap.
I was gonna say everything must go, but shit heap is good. I like that. Right
Sorry,
to the
that's
point.
gonna only be people are going to think about that Will Ferrell movie. Everything must go.
It was a 2010 film. You're right. You're right. Now
Yeah,
you
that's
know
why I
what?
said that.
It's been 12 years. You can use the name again. To answer your question,
Okay.
Keller, Lord
As
of the
long as
Rings.
you get Will Ferrell to host it and be like, this is inspired by my
Yeah,
2010 indie comedy dramedy.
everything must go. Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power. First season's going to have 8 episodes. I think the second season will also have 8.
Okay.
So, considering that's 8 hours of television,
Too long.
that's less than the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah, easily.
8 hours
That's
is less
like 2 hours.
than 9 hours. That is the full, maybe 9.5.
The first
Somewhere in
one
there.
is extended. It's like 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Extended is like 3.5. Yeah, they're long. They're
First
long
one's
boys.
4, I think, and then the second one's 4
Yeah.
hours.
No, I think the first and second theatrical are 3, and the third
Yeah,
one's
I'm
like
talking extendies.
yeah, the third one's like 320, 330. I think.
There's more material in those
Yep.
movies.
Yep.
For how much
Yep.
money? How much would those movies have cost
Oh,
today?
in today's
You think
dollars,
they
I don't
would have
know.
gone over $1 billion?
Here's what I do know.
Because
When
it does
yeah,
look better.
when PD Jacks took the meeting at New Line, he originally pitched 2 movies, and it was some executive at New Line that was like, "Hey,
That puts a bad taste in my mouth. Why not all 3?
yes." And PD was like, "Okay." And then they basically cut him a blank check. And by the time it was shifting powers at New Line or Warner Brothers or whatever, it was like the deal was already in motion and it was already too late. So they had no choice but they couldn't like Batgirl cancel the movie. They couldn't like Batgirl slash the budget. It was like in. So then thankfully it came out and was a massive hit because it would have bankrupted New Line and everything. And I think it even did. I think New Line was done even before, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
It's like we spent all our money on these turtle costumes.
yeah. Jim Henson cleaned us out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is cool. When this season's done, I'm probably gonna go back and reread The Hobbit and read and finish the Lord of the Rings books, which I haven't done yet. So, and maybe even read the Silmarillion. I don't know, dude. I might
That's like
feel
a straight up textbook.
I know. I might feel froggy. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to make it through the Bourne book first.
Yeah, I gotta finish that.
Ugh.
I paused it and I'm reading like a children's Star Wars book and it's delightful. It's
so
great.
much better.
It's like so much better. No, I mean, yes. The answer is yes.
Yes,
Because
you can say it.
It's a great author. It's a short little book. It's about Lando Calrissians, but specifically the Donald Glover age of Lando.
Mhm.
And the Phoebe Waller-Bridge droid is still alive.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I'm like, this is a great adventure.
R.I.P.
Yeah. She hasn't been killed and put into the Millennium Falcon yet. So it's just, it's like I'm reading Atlanta and Fleabag in one.
Wow. If only that was real.
But for children.
But for children.
Okay, so
Does the droid keep turning to camera?
Yeah.
And
She's
talking
like,
directly to you?
She's like, probably.
This priest is hot.
Did you see that great little viral video a comedian or actress or somebody did Mon Mothma but Fleabag?
No.
You seen that? Mon Mothma from Star Wars is delivering her lines
who that is.
where she's like, many Bothans died to deliver these plans. And then she
Oh,
would like
okay.
look down at the camera and go, like do a little flea bag things, and she kind of looks like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and does the
That's funny.
voice. It's so funny. It's so great.
Okay, pretty funny.
Okay.
Did you
Okay,
watch
pretty funny.
Elvis?
I did. I watched it last night with my mom.
And you loved it as much as she did?
No, not even close. No, 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 no. That was
What?
the third time she's seen it.
I thought that was going to be a for sure, you know, lovely moment for the two of you in which you could bond over something.
I bonded over some stuff with her.
Tom Hanks being fucking crazy in it.
No, 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 no. I think the bonding was she will all of a sudden halfway through the movie, or maybe towards the end, she kind of tells Abby and I, because we all watched it together. She was like, I remember when Elvis died, and we were like, oh, okay, cool. And she goes,
It was me. I did
yeah.
it.
She says it was the first time I'd ever heard of him. She didn't know about him until, and she goes, the first picture I ever saw
What a
of
way
him
to live. If only.
was him in his coffin, and she still remembers that from being a little girl. And I was like, that's crazy.
I gotta
Or
give that a Google.
teenager, I guess. She was a teenager when he died. And what year did he die? Like 75 or something?
I don't know. Before me.
The 70s? Yes, yes, yes. That lead actor did a great job. Legitimate.
Okay. Austin Butler.
Have you not seen the movie Elvis?
No, I've only seen the trailer. And the trailer, believe it or not, turned me off.
It might be. Yeah, I believe
I'll watch it. But I have yet to enjoy a Baz Luhrmann film.
That's what I'm saying. Me as well. I need to rewatch
I'm
Romeo
ready
plus
to give
Juliet.
Moulin Rouge
Another shot. Me
I
too.
think that might be the one I'll like the most.
Me too. I stopped The Great Gatsby, and I think I got to the end of Australia, but didn't like it. No. I don't like his movies or the style, but I think Elvis might end up being my favorite Baz Luhrmann movie. And I gave it 2 stars. I'm like, I didn't like it. What is it?
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah. What is it?
What he did, the Ballroom, Strictly Ballroom. I think that's like going to be his.
Maybe.
Or was I wrong?
You might be right. Let me check. I haven't seen that one yet.
I don't know.
For a
second, I confused Baz Luhrmann with Gore Verbinski for a split second.
You did. In which case, my favorite Gore Verbinski
is
Rango. No, it's the first Pirates. Come on.
The first Pirates.
He did
Someone cursed that Black Pearl.
He did Strictly Ballroom.
Okay.
In 1992. That might be awesome. I don't know.
I'm fucking
Romeo and Juliet, 1996. Romeo plus Juliet might be my favorite, just because it's a pretty good play.
Dead.
Romeo plus Juliet equals tragedy.
Plus comedy.
Yeah.
Minus tragedy.
Keller, did you ever see
time?
Did you ever see any version of Jurassic World Dominion?
I watched it on Peacock in chunks, and that is a slog.
Bummer.
It's cool to see different dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's true.
But
like the ice swimming dinosaur, or
it's so funny that I don't know, like it's so dumb.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we're gonna say something about the industrial farming complex.
Okay.
It's like
yeah, I haven't seen. There's an
giant grasshoppers.
There's an extendy version of that. I don't know if I'm ever.
I don't know. That's the only version I've seen.
Oh,
because it's on Peacock for free.
Gotcha. I might watch that then if it's for freezies. Keller, before we get out of here, we do have to pick a movie to put on here.
Okay.
It's not going to be Russian Ark.
No.
Are we picking a movie with a oneers? What are we doing?
Does it have to be a oneer movie?
No.
Okay.
It could be Forrest Gump.
The most patriotic movie of all time. Forrest Gump's not making it on the list, man.
You pick the movie. What do you want it to be, dude? What do you want it to be?
Why do I get to pick? We pick together. That's how this works from now on.
I don't have my. I'll shoot it down if I don't like it. I'm saying you initiate.
Okay.
The pick. You initiate the pick.
Maybe my favorite movie with a significant oneer is Children of Men, which I know you lost some love for.
A little bit, but
rewatch, which I do not understand, considering if only it became more true. Okay, Matt Osweda already picked Children of Men, so can't do it.
Okay. Thank you, David Taylor.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. I don't have my stupid laptop in front of me, so I can't even look up, and we're shooting
How
stuff
are
in the
you
dark.
doing this?
I think last week we picked Groundhog Day because we were talking about Analyze This, and I don't think all the Lord of the Rings movies are on there yet. Do you want to put Two Towers on there?
I think we did it.
No, all 3 are already on there?
I'm pretty sure we already checked.
So we're going into The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Sounds good.
Never ever again.
Just kidding. You want to do The Land Before Time?
Oh,
American
now
Tail.
we got a
American
movie.
American Tail. Five Goes West.
We can't put Five Goes West
Why not? An
before we
American
put on
Tail.
American Tail
Okay.
because an American Tail is about I don't know, westward expansion. I don't know, rubbed me
Yeah.
the wrong way.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But Land Before Time is about magic and it's real.
True, Land Before Time is about magic. What?
And
When
mourning
is the
your
magic?
parents. Land Before Time might be the greatest outside of Jurassic Park movie about dinosaurs ever made, and maybe the greatest.
That is easily that's probably definitely true. Is that a Don Bluth joint?
Yeah.
Oh, that man, like,
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
you up.
Yeah.
Okay. That movie's got a hell of a first 10 minutes too. Okay,
It
guys.
does. It does, guys. Okay. It does. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. This is
Put Land Before Time on there. Definitely. It's
okay.
Amazing.
Land Before Time. That's the pick. Guys,
Amazing oneer in the Land Before Time.
I don't know when we're going to be back. I don't have my calendar in front of me. It's going to be a minute. Stay tuned.
I'm
for the
gone at least a
announcement.
month, so
Yeah.
I'm looking probably, and then you got to do New York Comic Con.
Yeah, it's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute.
We're looking at probably a month and a half. 2 months.
Stay tuned for the announcey. We'll be back soon.
But everybody remember Hector's birthday, September 25th. So everybody make sure to tell Hector happy birthday.
Aw, thanks everybody. Keller, you're the best. I love you. I'll see you soon. And
I love you too.
Thanks everybody for watching.
We're going to talk to each other as soon as we end the live broadcast.
Bye.
Behind the curtain.
Bye.
It got dark.